My dear friends, April, everyone seeks happiness. From the moment we wake until the moment we sleep, our hearts whisper the same desire. I want to be happy. Yet the more we chase happiness, the more it seems to disappear. We run after money, status, approval, and possessions, believing they will complete us. But have you noticed? Each time we get what we want, another desire is already waiting. This is the illusion of external happiness. It is like drinking salty water. The more we drink, the thirstier we become. From the moment we open our eyes each morning, our mind begins its endless search. We seek comfort, pleasure, recognition, always something outside ourselves. The world teaches us that happiness lies in achievement, wealth, fame, or the approval of others. We are told, when you have this, you will finally be happy. And so, we run. We run after dreams, after people, after possessions. Yet somehow, the faster we run, the further happiness seems to move away. This is the great illusion of life, the belief that happiness exists somewhere out there. We spend our days building towers of ambition, collecting things that shine, chasing moments that fade. But like mirages in the desert, the happiness we think we see disappears the closer we get. Look closely at your own experience. Perhaps you once thought, if only I get this job, I'll be happy. Or if only this person loves me, my heart will be complete. Then the day arrived. You got what you wanted. For a moment, joy bloomed like spring. But soon, the excitement faded, and your mind whispered again, now I need something else. This endless chain of desire is the root of our restlessness. Happiness that depends on outer conditions is fragile. It breaks the moment circumstances change. If your peace can be taken away by a bad comment, by a small failure, or by losing a possession, then that peace was never real. It was only a temporary pleasure painted over the surface of the mind. True happiness is not found in what we have, but in how we see. Two people can walk the same road. One complains about the heat, the other smiles at the sunshine. Nothing outside has changed, only the mind within. The eye that looks determines what it sees. The illusion of external happiness is like standing in front of a mirror, trying to fix your reflection by touching the glass. We keep adjusting the world, hoping it will fix our emotions, but the reflection changes only when we change. Inner peace cannot be built from the outside in. It grows from the inside out. To begin to break this illusion, we must slow down. We must learn to watch the mind as it moves, chasing one desire, then another. Sit quietly for a few minutes each day. Watch how thoughts appear, how they promise satisfaction, and how quickly they pass. In that observation, you will discover something profound. Your thoughts are like clouds, but your awareness, the sky, remains unchanged. The world will continue to move. There will always be new technologies, new trends, new dreams. But if we anchor our peace in the outer world, we will be pulled by every wave. To find stability, we must build it within ourselves. It does not mean we must reject life or give up comfort. It means enjoying life without being enslaved by it. Eat the fruit, but don't cling to the tree. Love people, but don't expect them to complete you. Work hard, but don't tie your worth to results. The secret lies in appreciation, to see everything as a gift, not a guarantee. When we learn to be content with this moment, the illusion of something missing dissolves. Then, even a simple act, drinking water, feeling the wind, hearing a bird, becomes full of peace. Happiness, my friend, was never hiding in the world. It was only hidden behind the clouds of our craving. When we stop chasing the next thing and start embracing the present, the illusion breaks, and what remains is something quiet, gentle, and eternal, the joy of simply being alive. If you listen carefully, you will notice that peace is not something we find. It is something we allow. Beneath all the noise of our thoughts, below every wave of worry, there exists a still ocean inside each of us. This is the calm within. It is not created by silence in the world, but by silence in the heart. Most people believe that peace comes when problems disappear. They say, when my job is easy, I'll be calm, or when the world is quiet, I will meditate. But the truth is the opposite. Peace is not the result of perfect conditions. It is the power to remain steady amid imperfection. The world may be loud, people may be unkind, Your plans may not unfold as you wish, yet within you, there can be a space untouched by it all. Imagine a storm over the sea. Waves crash, wind roars, but deep at the bottom, the ocean is still. The same is true of our mind. On the surface, thoughts come and go, anger, fear, joy, excitement, but beneath them all, there is a quiet awareness, a space that simply watches. That awareness is who you truly are. When we identify with the surface, with our thoughts, our emotions, our stories, we are thrown in every direction. One moment happy, the next frustrated. One word from someone can lift us, another can destroy our peace. But when we rest in the deeper awareness, we are like the ocean floor, still, silent, grounded. To touch this calm, we must first learn to pause. Sit for a few minutes and close your eyes. Feel your breath, soft, natural, flowing. Watch your thoughts as they come. Don't fight them, don't follow them, just observe. Slowly you'll notice the space between them, a stillness that doesn't depend on the thought itself. That space is peace. In the beginning, the mind may resist. It will say, this is boring or this isn't working. But with patience, that restlessness settles. Peace is not something we force. It unfolds naturally when we stop interfering. Like muddy water that becomes clear when left undisturbed, our mind too becomes calm when we stop stirring it with worry and desire. The calm within is not emptiness. It is fullness. It is not lifeless silence. It is living awareness. When you are in that state, you begin to see the world differently. A sound is just a sound. A thought is just a thought. A problem is just a passing cloud. You realize, I am not my thoughts. I am the awareness behind them. From this inner calm, love arises naturally. Because when the mind is quiet, the heart opens. You begin to feel connected to people, to nature, to the very rhythm of life. You act with more patience, you listen more deeply, and you respond with kindness instead of reaction. True calm does not mean nothing happens. It means nothing shakes you. When you discover the stillness within, the outer world may continue to spin, but you remain centered, like the eye of a hurricane, still and clear while everything moves around you. In this calm, decisions become clearer. You see what truly matters and what does not. The noise of fear, the clutter of overthinking, the weight of past and future, they all dissolve in the quiet light of awareness. So, my friend, if you wish to find peace, don't search the mountains, don't escape the city. Sit where you are, breathe, feel the life moving within you. You do not have to create peace, you only have to uncover it. It was always there, beneath the surface, patiently waiting for your attention. The calm within is not a destination. It is your home, and you have never really left it. There is a door in the human heart that few remember to open. It is not made of wood or stone. It is made of understanding. It opens only from the inside, and its name is compassion. Through this door, we enter the deepest peace a human being can know. Many people believe happiness depends on what they receive, but the great paradox of life is that real joy begins the moment we start to give. Compassion is not pity. It is not feeling sorry for someone. It is the quiet recognition that others suffer and the sincere wish that they find relief. When this wish awakens in you, something miraculous happens. Your own pain softens. Imagine two candles in a dark room. When one candle lights another, it loses nothing. The darkness, however, loses twice as much. So it is with compassion. Each time you share kindness, your light does not fade. It multiplies. The heart that feels compassion becomes larger. It can hold both happiness and sorrow without breaking. When we close our hearts, pain hardens into anger. When we open them, even sorrow becomes tenderness. You may have noticed when you help someone, even in a small way, a smile, a listening ear, a word of encouragement, your mind grows quiet. For a few moments, self-concern disappears, and you feel deeply alive. That is compassion healing you from within. Why is this the secret door? Because it opens where logic fails. You may read hundreds of books on peace, but until love moves through your actions, true peace remains a theory. Compassion transforms knowledge into wisdom. It turns spiritual ideas into living truth. The world around us can be harsh, filled with division, fear, and misunderstanding. But compassion does not need the world to change first. It begins in one heart and spreads by example. A single kind act, performed without expectation, can ripple across countless lives. You might never see its end, but the energy of kindness never dies. Compassion also means being gentle with yourself. Many people show warmth to others yet carry bitterness toward their own hearts. Remember, you too are part of the circle of care. When you forgive yourself for your mistakes, you learn how to forgive others. When you treat your own pain with patience, you understand the pain of the world. The practice of compassion can start simply. Today, look at one person you usually overlook, a stranger, a worker, even someone who has hurt you, and silently wish them peace. Feel the shift inside your chest. Notice how the breath deepens. This is the door creaking open. Sometimes people fear that compassion will make them weak, that others might take advantage of their kindness. But compassion is not weakness, it is courage in its purest form. It takes strength to love in a world that teaches competition. It takes bravery to respond with gentleness when anger seems easier. A compassionate heart sees clearly. It does not ignore injustice, it simply refuses to answer hatred with hatred. It understands that pain multiplies when mirrored and ends only when transformed. Through compassion, we learn that every being, even those who harm, are seeking happiness in mistaken ways. When you live through this heart, peace no longer depends on perfect surroundings. You could be in the busiest street, and yet a part of you remains untouched, soft, and free. Compassion becomes both your shield and your gift to the world. So, my friend, if you ever feel lost, unloved, or empty, do not look for love to come toward you. Let it flow from you. That movement itself will fill you. For the secret door to the heart does not open by waiting for someone else to knock. It opens the instant you reach outward with kindness. There are two simple truths that carry profound freedom. Everything changes, and we cannot control most of it. Yet, how much of our suffering comes from fighting these truths? We hold on to what must pass, and we resist what life brings. This resistance is the root of our pain. To accept does not mean to agree with everything. It means to stop struggling with what already is. Acceptance is not surrendering your strength. It is surrendering your fight against reality. When we stop arguing with the moment, we discover an unexpected stillness. Think of life as a river. When we cling to the rocks, we are battered by the current. When we release our grip, we flow naturally. The river still moves, but now we move with it. That movement is not weakness, it is harmony. Many people believe that peace means having control, but true peace comes from the courage to let go of the need to fix everything, to prove everything, to own everything. We spend our days gripping things that cannot be held: youth, praise, relationships, moments, outcomes, and then we suffer when they inevitably slip away. Look closely at your hands. Not the physical hands, but the inner hands of attachment. What are you holding so tightly that it exhausts your heart? Perhaps an old memory, a lost love, a mistake, a dream that didn't unfold. Notice how heavy it feels. Now imagine slowly opening your palms. Feel the relief. This is what letting go feels like. Letting go is not forgetting. It is remembering without the ache. It is keeping the lesson, but releasing the burden. It is seeing that everything in life, the joy and the sorrow, comes as a teacher. When we resist, we suffer. When we learn, we grow. Acceptance begins with understanding impermanence. Every sunrise ends in sunset. Every breath we take eventually becomes still. Even the mountains, though ancient, slowly crumble back to dust. When we see this truth, we stop demanding that life be permanent. We start cherishing things more deeply because we know they are fleeting. The pain of loss softens when we understand that nothing truly belongs to us, not even our own body, which we borrow for a little while. What belongs to us is the love we give, the peace we nurture, the kindness we share. These are eternal. When we accept the present moment as it is, something magical happens. The heart opens. Even pain becomes less sharp because it no longer has to fight. A wound heals faster when it is not scratched again and again. In the same way, our hearts heal when we stop reopening the past. Some people say, but if I accept things, won't I stop trying to change them? No. True acceptance does not make us passive. It makes us wise. It allows us to act from clarity, not from resistance. A calm mind sees what must be done. An angry mind only reacts. Acceptance and letting go are not one-time acts. They are daily practices. Every day, life invites us to release a thought, a plan, a judgment, a fear. Each release brings more space for peace. And so, my dear friend, when you next feel life slipping from your grasp, do not tighten your fists. Take a breath. Remember, peace is not in holding, it is in allowing. Trust the rhythm of life, just as a tree trusts the seasons, letting go of its leaves when autumn comes, not because it is weak, but because it knows spring will return. Let go, not because you no longer care, but because you finally understand that holding on was never the way to peace. There's a quiet miracle happening around us every moment. Yet most of us pass through our days without seeing it. The sun rises, the air fills with life, our heart beats more than 100,000 times a day without us asking it to. Each of these moments is a gift, but our eyes, clouded by habit, often forget to notice. Gratitude is the art of remembering. When we awaken gratitude, the ordinary becomes extraordinary. A simple meal tastes like a blessing, a walk feels like freedom, and even the smallest kindness feels divine. Gratitude is not something we add to life. It is the lens through which we see life clearly. You see, suffering often begins not with what we lack, but with what we take for granted. The mind tends to focus on what is missing, the job we don't have, the praise we didn't get, the dream not yet fulfilled. But gratitude shifts our attention. It whispers gently, look again. It reminds us of what is already here, the breath, the sky, the smile of a loved one. Gratitude is a form of wisdom because it recognizes the simple truth. Nothing is owed, yet everything is given. Every breath, every heartbeat, every sunrise, all are acts of grace. We did not earn them, yet we are blessed by them. When you realize this, life stops feeling like a burden and begins to feel like a gift. Try this. Each morning, before the noise of the world enters your mind, pause for a moment. Feel your breath, your body, the soft light around you. Whisper quietly to yourself, thank you, not to anyone in particular, just to life itself. You will notice how that simple word changes your energy. Gratitude, when felt deeply, opens the heart like sunlight opening a flower. Gratitude also transforms relationships. When we appreciate people instead of expecting from them, love deepens. When we thank rather than demand, connection blossoms. A heart full of gratitude does not complain. It radiates warmth. People are drawn to it because it makes them feel seen and valued. Even in difficult times, gratitude is possible. In fact, it becomes most powerful then. When life challenges us, gratitude doesn't deny the pain, it reveals what still remains untouched by it. A person who can say, this hurts, but I am thankful to be learning, is not escaping reality. They are transforming it. Gratitude turns wounds into wisdom. Some people wait for happiness before feeling grateful, but the secret is the opposite. Happiness comes from gratitude. The more you thank life, the more reasons life gives you to be thankful. Gratitude changes our inner chemistry. It replaces resentment with contentment and fear with trust. To live in gratitude is to live awake. You begin to see how even small moments shimmer with meaning. A cup of tea, the sound of rain, the laughter of a child. The mind slows down, the heart softens. You realize, I already have everything I need to feel peace right now. And this is the quiet miracle. Gratitude doesn't need perfect circumstances, it creates them. It turns an ordinary day into a celebration, a small home into a temple, a simple act into prayer. So, my dear friend, if your heart ever feels heavy, if life seems dull or unfair, Pause, breathe, and look around. Name one thing you are thankful for, then another and another. Soon you will see the light of gratitude was never outside of you. It was always shining, waiting for you to open your eyes. Life is not happening yesterday, and it is not waiting in tomorrow. It is happening now, in this breath, in this heartbeat, in this very instant that slips away even as we name it. And yet, how rarely we live here. Most of the time, our mind is either revisiting the past or rehearsing the future. We replay memories, wondering what we could have done differently, or we anticipate what might happen next, weaving stories of fear or hope. Meanwhile, the living moment, the only moment that truly exists, passes quietly by, unnoticed. The greatest illusion is that happiness will arrive later. We say, I'll be peaceful when I finish this work, when I fix that problem, when I achieve that dream. But the later never comes, because when it does, it becomes now, and our mind simply moves the goal again. The truth is simple yet powerful. If you cannot find peace in this moment, you will not find it in the next. Living in the present does not mean ignoring the past or refusing to plan for the future. It means not being trapped by either. The past is a teacher, not a home. The future is a possibility, not a prison. Only this moment is real, and within it lies all the freedom we seek. Take a deep breath, feel it enter, feel it leave. For that one breath, your mind was in the present. Did you notice the stillness? That space is freedom. In that space, there is no fear, no guilt, no desire, only awareness. The present moment is life's open hand, offering you peace right now. But the mind, lost in its chatter, keeps closing its fist around time. When you slow down and pay attention, the ordinary becomes sacred. The sound of the wind, the rhythm of your steps, even washing your hands becomes a meditation. When you are fully present, you are no longer separated from life. You are life. The boundary between you and the world dissolves. You stop observing existence and start experiencing it directly. The mind quiets, and all that remains is awareness. Simple, clear, infinite. Some may think, how can I live in the present when I have responsibilities, plans, and dreams? But presence does not mean you stop doing. It means you stop being divided while doing. You can work, love, create, and serve, but with your full attention resting in this breath, this moment. Then every act becomes alive with consciousness. When you live this way, time feels different. Days no longer blur into one another. You stop rushing because you no longer believe life is elsewhere. You realize there is nowhere to go because you are already here. Even pain becomes more bearable when met in the present. Most of our suffering is not from the pain itself, but from our stories about it. Why me? When will it end? What if it gets worse? These thoughts pull us out of now. But when we simply feel what is here, without judgment, without escape, we find that the heart can hold it and healing begins. Living in the present moment is not just peace, it is freedom. Freedom from regret, from fear, from the endless chase of becoming. It is the realization that you are already whole, already complete, already home. So, my dear friend, if you seek enlightenment, do not look to the distant mountains or ancient temples. Sit quietly where you are. Feel the breath, the heartbeat, the life flowing through you. This is the sacred ground. Each moment is a doorway to eternity. Walk through it, fully awake, fully alive, and you will discover that the peace you were searching for was never far away. It was always here, waiting patiently, in the timeless now. This speech is a creative and inspirational interpretation inspired by the teachings and philosophy of compassion, mindfulness, and peace. It is not an official message or direct representation of His Holiness the Dalai Lama or any religious authority. The purpose of this content is to promote personal reflection, emotional well-being, and inner awareness. Viewers are encouraged to interpret the ideas in their own way and apply them with respect to their individual beliefs and experiences. All rights to original expression, narration, and presentation belong to the creator of this content.